everyone, hope you all are doing well. Stay home, stay safe, protect yourself and your family too. And thanks for watching my videos and thanks for subscribing. If you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel and encourage me. And if you like the video, please click on the like button and share it with your friends. If you want to give any suggestions or if you find any corrections, you can keep me comment in the comment box. Okay, and coming to today's topic, that what we are going to see today is modern periodic table. In previous videos, we have already seen D'Aubigny triads and Newland's octaves and Mendel's periodic table in periodic classification of elements. In today's class, we are going to see about modern periodic table. Actually speaking, if you want to learn in detail, lot of information is there related to this. But as of now, I am dealing with the classes 6th to 10th only. I am going to teach you the topic whatever are required and whatever are easily understood to your level. Okay, lot more information is there, but as of now we are going to see what is included in your syllabus. Okay, let us move into the topic modern periodic table. We have seen the Mendel's periodic table and some of the limitations of Mendel's periodic table. In order to overcome those defects of Mendel's periodic table, mostly in 1931, arranged the elements, and his periodic table is nothing but modern periodic table. And in order to overcome those limitations, he has taken into consideration the atomic number of the elements instead of atomic masses. Previously, so far, no one has taken into consideration the atomic numbers of elements. Whatever the classification we have seen so far are based on the atomic masses. Moseley was the first person to consider the atomic numbers instead of atomic masses, and this has given best results to classify so many elements and to overcome the drawbacks which are identified in Mendel's periodic table. And he arranged it based on what? Atomic numbers, increasing order of atomic numbers, and his periodic law has given by the properties of the elements or the periodic functions of their atomic numbers. What is his periodic law? Our modern periodic law states the properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic numbers. Okay, and he has arranged the elements in periods and groups. What are these periods and what are these groups? We will see in detail. Okay, totally in his arrangement, totally 18 groups are there. Totally how many groups are there? 18 groups are there. The vertical columns are nothing but groups. These vertical columns are nothing but groups. Total how many are there? 18 groups are there. Okay, the horizontal rows are called as periods. The horizontal rows are called as periods. How many periods are there? 7 periods. In modern periodic table, Moseley has taken into consideration of atomic number instead of atomic masses. So whatever the anomalies or whatever the drawbacks that were observed in Mendel's periodic table were overcome due to the efforts of Moseley. Okay, and he arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic numbers, in the increasing order of atomic numbers, and he arranged the elements in vertical columns called as groups and horizontal rows called as periods. Okay, what are horizontal rows called as periods, and what are vertical columns called as groups. Total how many groups are there in modern periodic table? 18 groups. And how many periods are there? 7 periods. Okay. And while giving their preference to atomic numbers, he has arranged the elements in increasing order. Okay. And the next element is just +1. That means if we consider the next element, the atomic number of that is only +1. Here you take lithium 3, beryllium 4. The atomic number will differ by only 1 unit. Okay? And while arranging in this order, what is the significance means, if we consider the atomic number, and it will be automatically related to electronic configuration of elements. Yes or no? Atomic number, if you know, you can know electronic configuration. Okay? In electronic configuration, whatever the electrons that are present in the outermost shell, whatever the electrons that are present in the outermost shell are called as valence electrons, and these valence electrons will give you information about valency. Related, listen carefully, what he considered atomic numbers of elements. If we take the next element, it will differ only by 1 unit. You know, from your previous knowledge, previous chapter's knowledge, you know what is atomic number. What is atomic number? It will give you the information about the number of protons in the atom. The number of protons in the atom. Yes or no? And if we know the atomic number, we can find out the electronic configuration. Yes? If we know the electronic configuration, whatever the electrons that are present in the outermost shell, which are nothing but valence electrons, can be known. Valence electrons can be known. Valence electrons will determine valency. Valence electrons will determine valency. Valency is nothing but the capacity of the elements to combine with others. Yes or no? Valency is nothing but the combining capacity of the elements to combine with others. That means combining with others is nothing but the reactivity. The reactivity will give you information about the chemical properties of the element. Will give you information about chemical properties. That means what type of compounds it will form, what kind of substances it can form. That information can be given. If we know electronic configuration, from that we can know valence electrons. If we know valence electrons, we can identify valency. And if we know all these, that means the reactivity can be known. The reactivity of the elements with others can be known. The combining capacity. Yes, if we observe If we observe the elements in a group, if we observe the elements in a group, these are nothing but first group. First group contain how many? 7 elements. Yes or no? If we consider the electronic configuration of all these elements, you can know up to potassium. You can know up to potassium. Whatever the knowledge you have up to now, you can find out the electronic configuration up to potassium. What is the electronic configuration of hydrogen? It is 1. What is the electronic configuration of lithium? 1. Sodium, total 11, no? 2, 8, 1. And what is this electronic configuration and how can we write the electronic configuration? If you have any doubts, you can refer to my video Structure of Atom and Electronic Configuration. In that, clear details on how to write the electronic configuration were given. They are available in the playlist also. You can search that to know what is electronic configuration and what are valence electrons. If you want that information, you can watch that video to get a better idea. If you observe the elements within a group, if you observe the outermost electrons, the same number of outermost electrons are there. That means the number of valence electrons is same in all the elements which are in respective groups. If you take 1, the number of valence electrons is 1. If you take 2, 2. Okay, like that. And these are different elements. These are transition elements we call. And after this, you have to consider these groups. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And later on, they are also considered as 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A. Like that they have considered. This is 1A, this is 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A. This is 8th group. Okay, 8th A group. And this is 1B, this is 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, 6B, 7B. And this entire group is 8th. Okay, total 9 elements, because all the elements present here are unstable and radioactive elements. You have to consider the elements up to 6th period only, because all the elements which are present in 7th period are almost unstable. They are radioactive too. And I have mentioned, if you consider any group, all the elements in that particular group have same number of valence electrons. Now I am discussing about groups. What is the basis for modern periodic table? Atomic numbers. If we consider the atomic numbers, they will give you information about the electronic configuration. If we know the electronic configuration, you can know the number of valence electrons, because the number of valence electrons will determine the combining capacity of elements. So, first group if you take, in all the elements, the number of valence electrons is same. So, what is the first conclusion you can write in a group? Same valence electrons. same valence electrons. Total how many groups are there? 18 groups are there. Okay. If we consider any group, the number of valence electrons is same. If you consider any group, like you can take fluorine, bromine, iodine, if you consider these also, the number of valence electron is same. Number of valence electrons is same in all the elements in a particular group. In a particular group. Okay. Coming to periods. Coming to periods. What is the trend? Coming to periods. What is the trend? Here, the number of valence electrons will increase one by one. See here lithium we have taken. If you write the beryllium electronic configuration. Beryllium electronic configuration 2, because it contains 4 electrons. The maximum number of electrons that can be filled in a particular orbit is given by the formula 2n square. So, in the first orbit, what is the maximum number of electrons that can be filled? 2. In the second, 2 into 2 square 8. The details about this electronic configuration you can watch in that video. Full details were given. And as we move from left to right in a period, observe, if we move from left to right in a period, the shell number is same, because here also second shell, here also second shell. But the number of electrons, the number of valence electrons will vary. The electrons will enter into the same number, represented K, L, M, R, N equal to 1, 2, 3, like that it is there, no? Here, in a period, if we consider, it will enter into the same shell. Electrons will enter into the same shell. But the number of valence electrons is not same. The number of valence electrons is increased as we move from left to right. Left to right, if we move in a period, the number of valence electrons will increase. The number of valence electrons will increase. Whether they enter into the same shell, but the number of valence electrons increase. And how many number of elements are present in first period? 2. Okay. How many elements are present in first period? See, hydrogen, helium, 2 only. How many elements are present in second period? Observe, total 8 elements. It will be known from the electronic configuration only. The maximum number of electrons that can be filled in a particular orbit, 2n square formula is there. Based on that we can know. Okay. If we calculate fourth shell, the results will be different. And all the details about this will be known in your higher classes. Up to now, what you have to remember, number of elements in the first period is 2. In the second period, 8. In the third period, 8. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third period also calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. In second and third period, the number of elements are 8 only. And the first period is called as shortest period. What is the first period called as? Shortest period. What is the second and third period called as? What is second and third period called as? Short period. Second and third periods are called as short periods. And coming to fourth and fifth periods, calculate how many are there. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. In both fourth and fifth period, how many elements are there? 18 elements are there. First period, 2, shortest period. Second period, third period, 8 elements are there. Fourth period and fifth period, 18 elements are there. 18 elements are there, and these two periods are called as long periods. Okay, these two periods are called as long periods. And sixth and seventh periods, totally contain, it is incomplete period. Seventh period is incomplete period, but sixth period will contain 32 elements. Sixth period will contain 32 elements, and seventh period is incomplete period. Okay. In sixth period only, another group, F block elements, remember easily, S block elements, P block elements, D block elements. It will become more advanced. Simply remember, these are S block elements, these are P block elements, these are D block elements. And in between, here only, again 14 elements are there. And rather than representing in a continuous long chain, they are placed below the periodic table. They are placed below the periodic table in the form of 2 rows. How means in the bottom of the periodic table, 2 blocks were given separately, containing 14 elements. 14 elements. Okay. And belonging to sixth period, the elements which are belonging to sixth period are called as lanthanides. The elements belonging to sixth period which are kept separately at the bottom of the periodic table are called as lanthanides. They are from cerium to lutetium. Total 14 elements. These are called as lanthanides. And coming to next, actinides. Thorium to lawrencium. Total 14 elements. They are included in 7th period. They are called actinides, and they include thorium to lawrencium. Total 14 elements. Okay, they are kept below the periodic table separately. Okay. In a group, if we consider, the number of valence electrons is same. In a period, as we move from left to right, the number of valence electrons will increase, and if we consider 8th group, they will be completely filled. When we reach to the last, they will be completely filled, 8 electrons in the outermost shell. These are nothing but inert gases, right? You know that. And in a period, electrons will enter into the same shell. Okay? We know K, L, M, N shells are there. Okay? They will enter into the same shell in case of period. In case of group, the number of shells increases. What is the trend? I will remove this one. So many points are there without skipping video. Please watch carefully. It is very important. It is very easy to understand if you concentrate. Okay. In a group, what is the trend? Number of shells increases. Number of shells increases. But number of valence electrons is same. Number of valence electrons same. In a period, what will happen? They will enter into same shell, but the number of valence electrons will vary. Number of valence electrons is different. But electrons will enter into same shell. Okay, here if we consider the electronic configuration, we have seen lithium, beryllium, 2 1 2 2. Boron you take, boron also you take, what will happen? 2 3, carbon 2 4, nitrogen 2 5, oxygen 2 6, because the atomic number is also increasing by 1 unit. So the number of valence electrons are increasing, and it will reach 8 electrons when we reach to this 18th group, that is nothing but inert gases or noble gases. Okay, this is the point to be remembered. Here, if we consider the properties of atomic radius, we have seen what is the basis for modern periodic table. Once again, repeat the video if you haven't understood for the first time. What is the basis for the modern periodic table? Instead of atomic masses, they have considered atomic numbers. What is the modern periodic law states? The properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic numbers. Why atomic numbers means? Atomic number will give you information about the electronic configuration. If we know the electronic configuration, we can determine the number of valence electrons. If we know the number of valence electrons, we can find out the valency of particular element. If we know the valency, it will give you information about the combining capacity or the reactivity of that particular element. Valence electrons are responsible for reactivity. We can know this information by the electronic configuration. How can you know the electronic configuration? Atomic number. Okay. What is the basis for modern periodic table? Atomic number. And he has arranged elements in vertical columns called groups, 18 groups, and horizontal rows called as periods, 7 periods. The first if we consider period, the first period is the shortest period containing only 2 elements, and second period consisting of 8 elements, and third period also contain 8 elements. Okay, these 2 periods are called as short periods. The first period is called as shortest period, but second and third periods are called as short periods. And fourth and fifth periods contain 18 elements, and these 2 periods are called as long periods. These are called as long periods. And sixth and seventh period. Seventh period is incomplete period. Okay. Sixth period contains 32 elements. Sixth period contains 32 elements. In that, lanthanides are included on the bottom place of this periodic table. Total, they are 14 in number. The elements include cerium to lutetium. Elements include cerium to lutetium. And in 7th period, actinides are there. In 7th period, actinides are there. And the elements include thorium to lawrencium. Again 14 elements. Again 14 elements. Okay. Now we will see what are the properties when we move from left to right in a period. We have seen how many periods are there, what are the names of those periods. But we have to understand what are the trends when we move from left to right in a period. Okay, left to right in a period. If we take atomic radius, we have already seen valency, right? Because valency will increase as we move from left to right, because the number of valence electrons increases. Okay? And how can we determine the valency? Valency determination is also given there only in electronic configuration. Just I will tell you. If the number of valence electrons are less than or equal to 4, then the direct number of electrons will give you the valency. Okay? If the number of valence electrons are more than 5, then the valency given by 8 minus number of valence electrons. All these calculations, how to calculate, were given. Once again repeat that if you don't understand while listening to this, you can refer to that, then you will understand it better, definitely. When we move from left to right, what will happen to atomic radius? We will see. Atomic radii. What is atomic radii? Is nothing but the distance from the nucleus to the outermost electron. Okay, outermost shell will be there. In that, the distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell will give you atomic radius. And what is the trend of atomic radius when we move from left to right in a period? Can you guess? Can you guess what we have discussed? The electrons will enter into the same shell. That means first period if you take, only it will be filled in n equal to 1 shell. Second period if you take, it will enter into the second shell only. Third period if you take, third shell only. Fourth period if you take, fourth shell only. Like that. Okay? The number of shell will not change. The electron will enter into the same shell. Then what will happen? For example, if you take sodium, 281 no? Sodium, this one electron is there, here 8 are there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Here also 2 electrons are there. Okay, when we take magnesium, when we take magnesium, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here 2 electrons are there. Here see, sodium and magnesium, the outermost shell number is 3 only, n equal to 3 only. But one more electron is added in the same shell in case of magnesium. If we consider aluminium, 3 electrons will be there in the outermost shell. Like that, the order will be there. That means the number of shells are not increasing. because electrons are entering into the same shell. So what will happen? The nucleus which is present will pull the electrons towards inside. The nucleus will pull the electrons towards inside because electrons are coming into the same shell. No new shell is there. So the nucleus influence on the outer shell will also increase and they will be pulled inwards. So atomic radius will decrease as we move from left to right in a period, because electrons will enter into the same shell. So the influence of nucleus on the outer shell and the nuclear pull will increase. Electron pull towards nucleus increases. So the atomic radius will decrease as we move from left to right in a period. What is the trend of atomic radius? Decreases. Then this is trend of atomic radius. Okay. Then we will see what is the metallic character and non-metallic character. Okay. Here you have understood, no? Because the electrons will enter into the same shell. So the influence of nucleus on the outermost shell will increase and this nucleus will pull the electrons inwards. So the atomic radius decreases as we move from left to right in a period. Okay, left to right in a period. If we consider the metallic and non-metallic nature, what is the trend? We will see. What are metals? You know, metals are highly electropositive. Metals are electropositive. What do you mean by electropositive? They can form positive ions easily. That means, what do you mean by that? They form positive ions easily means they can lose the electrons easily. But as the influence of nucleus on the outer electrons increases, the ability of the element to lose electrons will also decreases. That means the metallic character will decrease. And the non-metallic character will increase. Are you getting? What do you mean by metallic nature? They are electropositive and they can form easily the positive ions. When they can form positive ions if they lose electrons easily? How can they lose electrons easily when we move from left to right? Because the nucleus influence is more, because the electron is entering into the same shell. That is why as we move from left to right in a period, the metallic nature decreases and the non-metallic nature will increase. Okay? Non-metallic nature will increase. I hope you have understood. Atomic radii, valency we have discussed, metallic nature also we have discussed. And intermediate characters will be exhibited by some of the elements. That means some of the elements in between metals and non-metals exhibit the properties of both and they are considered as metalloids or semi-metals. Some of the elements will exhibit the properties of both metals and non-metals because they are placed in middle of both metals and non-metals. So these are called as metalloids or semi-metals. These are metalloids and they are separated by zigzag line. And they are separated by zigzag line. I will mark metalloids, boron, silicon, germanium, antimony, arsenic, tellurium, polonium. All these are metalloids because they will exhibit the properties of both metals and non-metals. Okay, simple trends we are seeing. As I already told you, so much is there to learn in periodic table. Okay, valency we have seen, atomic radius and metallic character we have seen. Coming to groups, what is the trend observed in groups? That is the point. We have seen up to now about periods. Total 7 periods are there and some are called as short period, some are called as long period, some are longest period. And what are lanthanides and what are actinides and how many elements that are filled in that are present in a period will depend on the electronic configuration and the maximum number of electrons that can be filled in that particular shell. Okay, what is the trend of atomic radius, what is the valency and what are the metallic nature as we move from left to right in a period. Coming to groups. Valency is same for all the elements in a particular group. Okay, valency is same for elements present in a particular group. We have already seen this point. Now coming to atomic radius. Atomic radius. What is the trend of atomic radius? If we consider these elements, in 1A if we consider, what is happening? The number of shells is increasing. This is hydrogen, this is lithium and this is sodium. The number of shells are increasing. Even though the valence electrons are same, the number of shells are increasing. So that influence of nucleus on the outermost shell will decrease. The influence of nucleus on the outermost shell will decrease. One shell is increasing as we move from top to bottom in a group. Yes or no? When we move from top to bottom in a group, the number of shells are increasing. Even though the valence electrons are same, the number of shells are increasing. Simply we can say as the number of shells are increasing, atomic radius is also increasing as we move from top to bottom. Atomic radius. Atomic radius increases as we move from top to bottom in a group. Okay. Then metallic character and non-metallic character. Okay. Metallic character and non-metallic character. If you consider this, leave about hydrogen because hydrogen is anomalous. It will exhibit the properties of both these alkali metals as well as that of halogens. So that's why separate box is given to hydrogen. The position of hydrogen here also somewhat anomalous. We don't know they don't know exactly at what point it should be placed because it exhibits the properties similar to that of alkali metals as well as that of non-metals like halogens. Then Atomic radius increases, you know. And what about the metallic character? What about the metallic character? Metallic character is nothing but forming a positive ion, electropositive ion. And for forming a electropositive ion, that means for losing an electron. If we consider lithium and sodium, the influence of nucleus on the outermost shell is getting decreased because the atomic radius is getting increased. So, the metallic nature is also increasing from top to bottom in a group. Top to bottom in a group, the metallic character is also increasing because it is very easy to remove an outermost electron. As we move from top to bottom in a group, as the number of shells are increasing, it is very easy to remove an electron. Okay, metallic character increases from top to bottom. Cesium is the most having most metallic nature because the electrons which are present in the outermost shell can be easily removed and it can form positive ion very easily. Metallic character will increases. Coming to non-metallic character. Here we have seen already these are metals, these are non-metals, and some exhibit the properties similar to that of metals and non-metals. They are called as metalloids or semi-metals. So we have seen metallic character, but what about non-metallic character? Based on these observations, if you predict the non-metallic property, you can send me the answer in the comment box. I left this point to you only. Whether it will increase or decrease in a group, you have to tell me the answer in the comment box. Still, if we go on discussing, many points can be included in periodic table. If you want extra information, keep me message in the comment box. I will prepare that and I will upload the video in advance, like S block, P block, D block, F block. If you want that additional information also, if you keep me a message in the comment box to upload that particular video, I will make that video and I will upload. And that's all for today. Hope you have learned. If you haven't understood, please repeat the video. Then you will be able to understand what is the trend in periods and what is trend in groups. Definitely you can understand. If you are not able to understand for the first time, if you repeat, definitely you will understand. Even if you find any difficulty, you can ask me in the comment box. I will give you reply definitely. And if you like the video, please click on the like button and share it with your friends. As I already told you, if you want any additional information, if you keep that message in the comment box, I will upload those details also, because still so much is there to learn in periodic table. We can have lot more information. Okay, Niels Bohr table, the long form of periodic table is also there. We can have that if you show interest, and if you want me to do, I will do. That's all for today. Hope you have enjoyed. If you like the video, please click on the like button. Once again, I am requesting you to do that. And that's all for today. Bye bye.